Hi and welcome to another video. It's gonna be another little chatty video. I am still finishing up uni and I cannot tell you how much I am longing and wishing and praying that the summer will come, and of course the summer will come, so why am I praying? But I'm just longing and waiting for the summer, and I'm so excited for the summer to be out of uni, and I'm so excited to have 3 months. I don't have to do anything except what I want to do, and then master's degree studies. But I have a little time off, and I can't wait to make all the collabs with people, everyone that I emailed, and I will sing with people, I will perform in the summer. I'm so excited. I have a few performances coming up. I'm gonna meet up friends. I haven't met friends, and I don't know what has happened, but it's been so lonely, and it's been so life has been on such a pause in the pandemic in a way that I love. I love alone time, more freedom, more alone time, the happier I get. I get a kick out of just more alone time, more freedom. But it has 2020 was kind of this back and forth. I kind of hate it, but I kind of like it secretly. It's just not the pandemic, but isolation. No way, not isolation. Alone time, with me, it's the way it has always been anyway, kind of. So but I kind of got a kick out of it, more alone time, but I was kind of confused. And as I got into 2021, I was so used to it, and it just flew by, and I was like, this little second of alone time has been great, but now we're in 2022 and I can't wait for a summer where I will hopefully meet people and do more things, and it will not just be sitting and staring at a Word document and sending assignments. It will be something else, and I'm kind of excited for that. So and it's I don't have time to read. I want to make kind of book videos, talk about my favorite books, but I haven't read enough books this year that I can make that video, because it's been assignments, history, and I think it's why I'm procrastinating everything else is because I am procrastinating uni assignments about history next to math. Unfortunately, history is my least favorite subject, and I just don't like history. I wish I did. Of course I do, but it has to be something that is next to another subject, like literature or whatever. But in this case, it's so just boring Middle Ages history. It's just not my thing. So that's why it's just such a slow pace, and I am kind of slow. I move in a slow, quiet pace in life anyway, so when something comes up where I can do that a little bit too much, unfortunately, I do it. But I'm gonna get into the video. I've been putting this video off, and it's just because it's just I made a really long list of things, and I divided it into 2 things. So it's social things, and then we have personal things, and maybe they kind of go together a little bit. I think the first one says stay present, stay in the present moment. That probably goes into personal, just whatever. So those 2 sections don't really matter, but I did write it that way, and I wrote it in March. This is over a month ago. But it feels like yesterday, everything today with time, and I guess the world we forgot to move in a normal pace. But how to be the best you, and just because I am in a very good place. I just feel happy. So I thought once you are in a really good place, why not sum it up, all of these positive thoughts you're having, and put it into a video and put out I wouldn't call it advice, but I will call it little ideas how you can care for yourself better and create your sense of identity. And if you've been lost before but you're coming out of it, and how you, or if you are lost, whatever it is that's going on, I think this could be a fun video. So I'm gonna get into it. I think I'm catching a cold. I don't want to catch a cold, but that has nothing to do with anything. I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna try to not make this the longest video ever, so I'm just gonna get into it, and these two sections, I'm just gonna diss them and just go into it and try to not make it a 30-40 minute long video. And I'm gonna try to be specific, because I feel like these things, like, stay present, stay in the present moment. When you see that kind of fly by on the internet, it's like, why? So I'm gonna go into depth, like, how did I reach that? I think that's more interesting to hear someone's personal story than just kind of like general things that everyone can kind of feel and come up with. So I'm just gonna go into it. Personal, I don't know, social, personal, just like whatever. I think they go hand in hand after all. Unfortunately, I wasn't too precise, and I don't work with precision. I do sometimes. I'm just kidding. Well, I think for me, with mental health, especially you and your little bubble, is to have interests, hobbies, and fall in love with learning, like learning things, many things. Like, I think that's the best thing, to have something to do that isn't just school and work and what you have to do and whatever. It actually, like, interests. You love reading, you love painting, you love drawing, you love singing. You have to have, like, things that you want to evolve in and get better at, and that has nothing to do with, like, other people and, like, leaning on other people or something. I think that's the #1 thing that really makes life, like, for me, I think for me, what makes my life is just learning, and, like, always, and will I say, like, there are so many subjects and things, just like anyone else, I'm not really interested in, and that might take me some time, and I might, when I get older, and, like, I think sometimes with age, like, certain interests come and go, and certain, like, interests in learning and things like that, they come and go. But for me, it's mostly artistic things. Like, I love photography, I love singing and writing and all of that, and that's kind of out there anyway, so people kind of know that I like that. But, like, to always pick up on new things, working out, like sports, always have stuff that, like, occupies your brain, that is something that you're focusing on, that isn't another person. Because I feel like sometimes when I get any kind of mental health struggles, is usually when I'm, like, kind of alone, and I wish I had a closer friend or something, and it becomes this obsessive thought. But what helps that is, like, reading a book and really escaping, learning new words, I don't know, cooking, trying to love baking, cooking, anything, like, anything that kind of, like, occupies your current situation. If you're not really having that many friends at the moment or something like that, I think having an interest, having a hobby, it always helps, and it, like, focuses your brain on this other thing. And sort through what really matters in life to you, I think, is what I put number 2 there. Well, like, what really matters, having really I mean, it changes all the time. Like, maybe even writing down, like, a list of likes and dislikes, and be really, because, like, I always try to think about, what do I like, what do I don't, what do I like, and what do I don't like. Like, be really honest, especially because once you get out there and you are around other people, to really have, like, your principles set and your values. So, like, if someone kind of comes in and tries to change you and you don't really notice that, or it's something that seems a little tricky with another person, you still have you sorted out, like, what you like and what you don't like, and I think that's very important. Yeah, having routines, staying productive, like morning routine and night routine. And this is so, in my life, my morning routines are very simple. It's drinking water, making my bed, maybe writing a few pages in, like, a morning pages journal. I try to not look at social media first thing I do, but I do. And I think it's okay. I think that kind of rule that you sometimes see with influencers, I don't check social media, or like restrictions on social media, like I think you can balance it yourself, but doing something not so technologically, doing something in the morning that's a little bit more just like this moment right now, and not someone else on social media. Maybe, I don't know, maybe not even this thing that helps your mental health, but it might be a thing that will encourage you to stay in the present moment, as like writing a little bit in your journal. I also write a list of things you want to accomplish, so that can really motivate me and make me happier and then more excited for my personal life and just the future. So just for the upcoming week or the month or this whole year, set goals for 2022. What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Find new books to read, songs to listen to, movies to watch. Write a list of that kind of stuff. Like, I think writing your current thoughts about the books you read, writing your current, just like looking up books that you would be interested in and saving them, bookmark them. I don't know, can really help you too. Ask yourself important questions. Some people do this in a journal where they ask themselves a question each day. I don't do that, but I thought about that. I think that's something you can do. You can definitely do tags. I think that's a good way to get to know yourself just by yourself. Just kind of look at, I think people do that. So like just look at these tags. Remember when people used to do that in like YouTube videos, like this get to know me tag. Just like do those quietly in your room. Just like, doesn't matter when, if you're older, younger, what am I saying? I think like it doesn't matter when you do that, just do that whenever. I think that can be very helpful to get to know yourself again. And as I said, sort through likes and dislikes, check up on yours. I think it's like really like check in with yourself, like how do I feel now? And write that down. I think that can be very helpful. So velvet green. Yeah, dress in a nice outfit. That's like very out of nowhere. That was not supposed to come in now, but I'm just, since I looked at myself, I'm saying like dress yourself up in nice outfits. That's not even on this list. I just made that up right now. Yeah, talk to yourself, process things, and have discussions with yourself and sort through things. Have imaginary conversations with people. I know that's really weird, but I think that's something we do, and people don't, that's just what we do sometimes. Have conversations with friends that you, like, sometimes we, I don't know, having, no, that's so like, that sounds like such a lonely thing to do. It's like, you really need to get out there now, like, why are you, and it has gone to that point. No, but like, I mean, you can kind of lightheartedly sometimes like imagine, I think that everyone kind of does that, lighthearted, like you low-key imagine yourself talking to a person you haven't talked to in a while, or a friend you have right now, or someone you wish were in your life, or whatever, and it's just this conversation to connect to yourself or them and your chemistry with that person. But that was not what I was supposed to say. I just whatever. Talk to yourself. I do it all the time. It's a great way to really discuss things with yourself and check in on yourself. What do you think? Questions that I feel like no one will ask you, because it's just you who will know. It's a little, have a little sleepover. No, I'm just kidding. I said step out of your comfort zone, but I don't really know what I mean. Just, yeah, I think this one's important. Watch things that make you feel good on Netflix and shows and music and this kind of like reality shows and weird shows that kind of like twists your brain. So like Netflix and whatever is like filled with all of these weird shows to me that are just like puts out very strange values and is very like twisted in a way. Feel good things. If you're doing bad, if you're not in a good place. I don't think you should watch scary things or bad things. I think you should watch like really uplifting things like cartoons or comedy or like something more lighthearted. Like I think like out of someone, I think a friend said that to me, like I think sitcoms, comedy shows, you know, they're better, they're the best when you're not in the best place. So I think you should watch that one instead of scary things or twisted things. Yeah, and like forget yourself for a moment. I think a book is the best way to do that, to like zoom into or escape into a world that is in your own. So, and do not obsess over yourself and your problems, and indulge in a hobby or find a job that you like and absorb yourself into something that does not make you think about yourself too much. I think that's very important. I think it's such a me time with social media anyway. Selfies, look at my great life, look at my beautiful house, look at my wedding, like it's just, which is not me. Just like do things that make you think less about yourself, and this kind of like promote yourself kind of world we're living in. So and hobbies, creativity, knowledge, those are the best escapes to me, and it's the best self-care and the best like healing things at the end of the day. Like I don't think anything else out there in the world, just art, your art, other people's art, and learning new things. I think it's really those two things that like make you happy. And I think in the pandemic I've discovered that it really is that solves everything. Almost like stop recording. But it's really that helps. I don't think anything else helps. I don't think another person is gonna come in and save us. I never thought so. I think there are times where we get kind of like I think it's just this balance at the end of the day with when it comes to like how much other people should come in and how much you should come in. Of course, it's kind of like times where we need other people more, and sometimes it's us more. And for me, like I've never really been dependent on other people that much, but there are times where I would want to, no I'm kidding, no, times where I would want to have more of a social life, but then I kind of realized that has to come naturally, and I can't make my life around other people because people come and go and things are temporary, and just the things you have are really books. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I did not have a point, so I just made something up. Write to-do lists, spend time in nature, get sunshine. Keep separate planners if you have for separate things, maybe one for work and one for personal. That's very helpful if you're like everything is just like going crazy and you don't know how to, what am I gonna do, and just sort it out like that. I think is the most perfect thing to do. Yeah, evolve in your interests. Like don't just pick up the guitar and just play it the same way. This is hard, but sometimes like evolve, always evolve in certain things. Like I think that's happiness to me. That's like true happiness, like evolving in certain areas of life. As I said before, and I talked about journaling before, but journal, analyze things that happen in your life objectively, feel life subjectively. Allow yourself to do that as much as you want, but like analyze life objectively in situations, and really like, what is this, before you kind of like react too much emotionally, I guess. Alone time, when you go and clear your thoughts, and also have a lot of time where you don't think, where you allow yourself to just like, when you're in a place and you're not really doing anything and no one's really around and it's not a busy time, try to not think at all. If that's possible. It's a hard thing, but like try to think less about things when it's like, now is the time I could really like slow down. Don't think. Exercise, running, research things for pleasure, and this goes into like knowledge is everything. research things for pleasure. Have a little, as I do, I have a little book for just uni stuff that I have to research, but I also have these like research for pleasure little notebooks for different things, and it's fun, super fun, just literature stuff. Like I want to learn more about Jane Austen because I'm like, I don't know much, or I forgot about her and her life and what it was like, so I'm like, as I'm reading Emma, I'm also like researching her, and I think that can be really interesting. Watching videos of favorite musicians and favorite authors and things like that, it can be a really nice escape too, I think, and it's amazing to do that too. Analyze the past and learn from it, but try not to live in it. And I'm not gonna say that that's an easy thing. It's kind of like an intuitive process, and it takes some time to get through. Learn something from your younger self and do something that your child self loved doing, that you stopped doing to connect with something good from your past. And it can be so silly, like for me, like just like taking pictures with me and flowers on the ground in the park. It's so really nothing at all, but it means something to me. Like it is some sort of connection there, and looking at old pictures and recreating pictures, like it's really, it might seem like nothing at all. What does that do? But it has done something, and I cannot explain it. It's this feeling that it has given me to just have these little moments where I do connect to my younger self, but that I do then, because you have such a like free happiness and joy and spontaneity. You're more spontaneous in a way, and you haven't really taught, society hasn't taught you how you should be yet, consciously and unconsciously, you know. So and I feel like middle school you can teach you a lot, because it's kind of like it's still like a kid obviously, but it's someone with more of a like a adulthood conscious reasoning brain, that kind of like, not adulthood, what am I saying, but someone with more of like a, it's a little bit more grown, and you can actually look at that and learn something from yourself, learn something from kids. Kids are really smart. They're more, sometimes kids are smarter than adults, a lot of times they are. Let go of everything that no longer serves you. And I think I am mostly thinking about things on social media and things you see, things in your life that kind of distracts you and that has nothing to do with the current you. To let go of those things. It can be small things, it can be people you follow on social media that isn't bringing you joy. It could be anything, be honest, like what does no longer serve you, let go of it. And focus on self-improvement first when you really need to. Breathe, process thoughts, write them down, say them out loud, and don't bottle things up inside. Analyze it, what it is that causes you stress sometimes, and stay on your path. And that's pretty much that. I don't think I have anything else really on that note. But I have a few things here on social things. And I think when it comes to social things, like I think they're kind of the same, and that's why, like I say, I don't really like how I split it up, and I didn't really think about that, and I just went into this video and I couldn't stop. As I said, yeah, unfollow negative people on social media. Follow the best of the best. People, nice influencers, but also like influencers, but famous whatever people, but also nice people you know personally, you know. Like, don't be very mindful of who comes into your life. And as I don't like when people say energy. I think it's such a not a real thing, but what can we use instead of energy? Atmosphere. Does their personality click with yours? I think, be honest, it's okay to say no. Cut ties with whoever you want. I think be ruthless. Cut ties with anyone who isn't for you. Don't feel bad about it. Life's short. I think that's kind of my view of it. Yeah, no materialistic, fame-obsessed, self-absorbed people. watch, I think with YouTube, like support smaller YouTubers who are really talented before the ones who are already having followers or whatever. Like support the ones that deserve more credit for their hard work. And what I have 300 people I'm subscribed to that has kind of the same amount of subscribers and views as I have, and they really deserve so much more. What was that? And yeah, study tubers, people who produce kind of productivity content, or people who educational things, art that you like, really watch that instead of vloggers. To be honest, it's not the best thing out there. Watch people who have really made cool things, and people who talk about more interesting things and have like really subjects that make you smarter. Like something, like not everything has to be something that makes you smarter, or something that is like educational, or like, but I think watch things that really bring you joy, that help you in a way, or that is like a happy energy, art or not. Do that. That's just that has really helped me, instead of feeling that, because I think for me, I sometimes get that I need to be aware of what's out there, so I need to look at many things to be able to kind of form this, like, that's out there. But you don't have to look at anything you're not interested in. You don't have to be aware of anything. No, just kidding. No, but you don't have to be aware of everyone who's out there, and you can just stick to what you like, what you find that you like. You don't have to have this obsessive thing with social media. I need to look at that, I need to look at this. Absolutely not. Just look at what you want to look at. Let's go through this quickly. Yeah, cut ties with whoever you want to. Be mindful of who influences you and how they influence you. And can you be yourself around the people you're with? Decide which social medias you want to keep. I think that's a really good kind of like, haven't really talked about confidence. I don't think this video is on confidence. I think it's mostly like self-care tips and how to be happy kind of ideas. But yeah, decide which social medias you want to keep. Like Twitter, not for me. I think there's like a more negative vibe over there, negative kind of like Twitter humor. That's not for me. Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, I never wanted, but I had, because it was like everyone else had them. So, but I think for me, Instagram, YouTube, what else is that I have? A blog here and there. That's enough. I think I always wanted to just be on Instagram and YouTube primarily. And for some people, they don't really want to be on Instagram. That's too much, and it's overwhelming and whatever, and they feel like I don't know, just YouTube. So really sort through, like, you don't have to be on each and every social media. You don't have to be a social media at all. It's all up to you. Nothing makes you less or anything like that. Just whatever makes you happy, choose that. Yeah, like, I think this has really helped. Do not look at old videos or old things you have posted on social media. Move forward. I think, like, I have to pause this. To be able to move forward, I think never looking at old things. Because I feel like I have it in mind already, and kind of pops up like that picture and that and that, and that kind of like, that's out there, and now I'm not that way anymore, but I used to be, or something. And like, I think it's a better way to move forward, to never look at anything old, because I might get that feeling like I could do that better now. Should I keep this video up? I will just make this again, or like make that like, don't. Just this, it's your journey. It's a little museum of you, as I've said with a friend. I think like it's just this little archive of you. YouTube, Instagram for me, you know, like I think that's kind of cool to have like this whole feed of things that you never have to look back on if you don't want to. Just like kind of in the future, maybe when you're older, or sometimes with friends. I think it kind of pops up sometimes when you meet up with friends, like, hey, this one's Instagram, and you look at it, you go through each other's Instagrams for fun and reminisce or something if they're in your pictures or whatever. But just by yourself, like, you don't have to look at old posts or look at old videos at all. Because I feel like we kind of remember them anyway, and it is more fun to kind of like let the years go by and then kind of like look back with anything, with old pictures in general. And I think that like makes you less obsessive over, like, I posted that and I did that, and then what if people are watching this now, but it doesn't, I'm not like that anymore, but people think that that's still me. I think it's just like, leave everything up. I think I realized this, that it's okay if you have something that's kind of like not your best work, a little bit iffy, or like not your best selfie, or like whatever. It's better to have something like that up and then having things up that are more like negative, like where you promote kind of like a negative energy, I hate saying it, energy, or a negative way of thinking, or you're attacking someone. Or if you have something like that up on the internet, you never should, but if you have that, that's not good. But if you just have art and normal thoughts, and it's just you're being just a normal human being on the internet, if you have things up there like, that poem, I could have done that differently today, or I have that song that's like, I could have done, like, I was just 17, but now my voice is better now, or like, it doesn't matter. And I still in a way like everything I have up, but of course there are always like improvements you can make, and always like new versions of a thing you can make, and that's just how it's always going to be if you're creative. Like, you're always going to have that kind of like, I could have done that, and maybe sometimes you even see things that other people don't care about anyway. So just keep everything up, and it's like, it's a journey. And I feel like as the years go by anyway, when you're 25 and look at things you made when you were 20, and you have really distanced yourself from it, you're like, you can have this kind of like, haha, look at that, like, yeah, I was good there, but like, you see stuff that's like, that could have been better. And that's just fun. It's just fun to have that kind of like, and look at pictures from when you were a kid, to just kind of go like, it's just the way it is. I'm better now, like, I don't know, like, improvements and new versions of things, and new insights on things are always going to be there. So like, just keep everything up on social media. It doesn't matter if something's like a little, if you have a typo and it annoys you or whatever. And I think genuinely right now I like everything that I have up everywhere. I would just really love to make new versions of it, maybe because like I'm older and I have grown or whatever, and that's just the way it is. And I think that's unfortunate with social media, that we always have this like, it's hard to stay in the present moment, because we're always thinking, I posted this, but that doesn't resemble how I am now, and that's annoying, but people think that's me, or like, I don't know. When really I think everyone's just sitting around thinking about themselves that way, and no one really cares about anyone. No, like, that's not what I mean, but like, no one really sees you and is your biggest you know, critic like yourself, and that's just okay. It's just the way it is. But just let go of things and move forward, and I think that's the best key to like happiness and like social media detachment, if anything. Like, don't judge your own stuff too much. Yeah, but like also with other people, like, do not be quick to judge, try to understand. Like, as I said, like, it's okay to not be friends with everyone, and you can cut ties with anyone who you want to, and it's your life, but do not be quick to judge, try to understand why some people are the way they are, understand their situation before you feel personally like offended or whatever it could be. And just, as I say, it's okay to always like subjectively feel the world, but like certain situations, and a lot of times social situations, but people where we don't really understand what's going on, conscious reasoning, you have to analyze objectively and sometimes tune out of your own emotions, and it's balance. It's always this balance thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much in, like, good friends be selective. Don't be afraid to be selective. And learn to be okay with being on your own for long periods of time. And this is such a... I am just naturally that way. I'm an only child. I don't have a big family. I've never had many friends. Most of my friendships are on the internet anyway. I love being alone, but also, you know, sometimes resent it or whatever. But I think like this so depends on the person you are. And I cannot help extroverts. I can't, in this case, I cannot help people who are like really struggling for social and emotional intimacy right now, because I never really have that super crazy desire for that anyway. Like I'm mostly just so okay with like I can just sit and do nothing at all, or just be absorbed in a book or whatever it is that I'm doing, and I don't always need to connect to people. I love, like the thing is like I love other people. Like I'm kind of like you have to kind of poke at me a little bit and go like, hi, how are you doing? Do you want to hang out? Like I'm not really one to make initiatives. So it just depends on the kind of person you are. I'm just so okay with alone time. I get happier and happier the more freedom and alone time I get. So I am that way. But just anyone should be able to learn. Everyone should be able to learn how to be alone, I think, and like it, and be able to sit with themselves, because I think it's true as this it's true as they say. Like, it's true as they say that happiness comes from within, and it's this you and only you thing. But I also kind of think sometimes the world is so focused on that inspiration and ideas always come from one person to another, and we are never fully like just happy with ourselves and ourselves only. We're meant to be out there with other people. So it's really just like a balance thing, and it's an intuitive process, and in a way there's nothing you can really teach anyone on that. It's just something you just find from within, and that's pretty much that. I don't know. I don't really know what this video was, but I hope it was somewhat useful, especially since I'm talking about something from a place where I am in a good place. And I hope the video was helpful in some way. I don't really know what it was. I don't remember anything. I don't remember a single thing. But I hope you like it. How to be the best. I don't think I talked about confidence at all. That was supposed to be the title of the video. But it is kind of like self-care, self-love, how to find happiness, how to learn how to be okay on your own video. And it's just practice. I think I'm going to make more videos when the summer comes along. But for now, I'm just going to make these little quick spontaneous videos, and this was one of them. So I hope you like it, and it's just me and yogurts, and we're saying goodbye. Have a good night. I'm gonna listen to some music. I'm gonna read. I don't even know. Bye. Bye bye.